Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this very easy stitch. I think this is nice for you guys, the beginners, to try working with some stitches. I think this stitch, it's nice to make a, I don't know, baby blanket, cardigan. Can do so many things. So this is one of the sides of the work, the stitch, and this is the other side. I think this one, it's much nicer. It's really nice, this one. And for a baby blanket, use a softer yarn. Even a scarf you can do with this. So many things you can do with this stitch. Okay, this stitch has only 2 rows repeat. The multiple of this stitch is 3. So I have here multiples of 3. We're gonna skip the first 4 chains from the hook, 1 2 3 4, and into the 5th we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain where we did this double crochet. This is called the V stitch. So we're gonna skip the next 2 chains, and into the 3rd we're gonna do a V stitch, a double crochet first, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain. We're gonna skip the next 2 chains, and into the 3rd we're gonna repeat double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat with a V stitch. So skip the next 2 chains, and into the 3rd we're doing the same, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet in the same chain. Skip the next 2 chains, and into the 3rd we're gonna do the same, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain, and you're gonna be left with 1 chain, the last one here, in which we're gonna go in there and do a double crochet, 1 double crochet. Now chain 3, turn your work, and now in this V stitch, the space, so the first V stitch is here, so we're gonna do 3 puffs. So you're gonna go into that space and you're gonna start doing a puff. So once, twice, and a 3rd time. Pull the yarn through all these loops, not the last one. Pull the yarn to the last 2, chain 1, and we're gonna do 2 more puffs into the same space here. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. Pull the yarn through all these loops, last 2, chain 1, and 1 more puff into the same space. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. And now we're gonna move to the next V stitch. So in this space, 1 chain space, in this V stitch, we're gonna do 3 puffs. So once, twice, and the 3rd time. Chain 1, and we have to do 2 more puffs. I'm working now with 3.0 millimeter crochet hook, but you're gonna work with whatever the yarn is recommending. So I'm gonna do 1 more puff in there, so now we're gonna move to the next V stitch, and in that space 3 puffs. So once, twice, and the 3rd time, chain 1, 2 more puffs, once, twice, and the 3rd time, chain 1, and 1 more puff. You can go many times if you like, if you want the puffs to be bigger. Yeah? It's gonna look like this. Okay, so now we have left, well, from this row only 2 V's, so we have to move to the next V, and we're gonna do the same. Chain 1 and 2 more puffs, chain 1, and the last puff in this V stitch. So now we have the last V for this row, so we're gonna do the same, 3 puffs in there. So once, twice, and the third time, chain 1, and 2 more puffs we have to do there. Chain 1, 1 more, and now at the end we have the chain that we skipped in the beginning, so we're gonna go into the top chain and we're gonna do a double crochet. You're always gonna finish with a double crochet at the end. Chain 3, turn your work, it's gonna look like this. So now we're gonna repeat the row with the V stitch. So the puff, we have 1, 2, 3 puffs. We're gonna skip the first one and the one in the middle on top of the stitch there through the stitch. The one in the middle, the puff, the second one, we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into that stitch. And now we're gonna move to the next set of puffs. We're gonna skip the first and the second, the one in the middle. We're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. So you're gonna move to the next. So you move to the next one. Double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. So now the last one, the last set of puffs, gonna skip the first puff and into the second, the one in the middle. We're gonna do a V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet. So now at the end we have the chain 3. We're gonna do on top of the third chain here a double crochet. You're gonna chain 3 and you're gonna repeat the row with the puffs. Looks like this. So the first V stitch is here, so we're gonna do the first puff, chain 1, the second puff, and the third one into the same space. And now you're going to move to the next V stitch, and we're going to repeat. Chain 1, you're going to make the second puff, and the third one, we move to the next, and so on. Chain 1, we're gonna do the second puff. Yeah, it's a very easy stitch for you. The beginners will be just great, and you can alternate colors if you like. You're gonna change colors every time you start the row with the V stitches. Yeah? So you go to the next V and you put in there 3 puffs separated by 1 chain. Chain 1 and the third one. After you finish the third puff, you don't chain anything, you just move to the next V stitch. So now is the last V stitch of the row. We're gonna do in there 3 puffs, the second one, chain one, and now the last puff, the third one, and you don't chain anything now, no? So you go to the chain, and on top of the chain, the third one, we're gonna do a double crochet. So now when you have 2 loops on your hook, now you're gonna attach the new color if you choose to work like one row. You're gonna do one color, the next row, you know, a different color, and so on. So you're gonna attach the new yarn. You're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna start the row with the V-stitch. So you have the first cluster of puffs. You're gonna skip the first one, and you go on top of the second one and do a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet into the same stitch, and you move to the next cluster, and so on. So this is the stitch. It's really nice, goes really fast. Well, working with puffs, it's gonna eat some yarn, but it's really nice, this one, and it's so easy for a baby blanket, for a shawl. And like I said, if you like the puffs smaller, then you don't go. Depends on your yarn size. You don't go 3 times. But because this is, I have to use 3.0 millimeter crochet hook, I choose to go 3 times to do a puff. Yeah. So you can give it a try and see if you like this stitch. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Bye bye.